Atlanta cabbie by day, amateur auto duelist by night, Ricky Turner is living the dream. That is, until he wakes up in a Gold Cross facility to discover his last match was more than a failure. It was a fatality. Indebted for the cost of the clone body and reboot, Ricky heads back to the arena to do the one thing he knows how to do: drive offensively. But at the rate amateur matches pay out, it'll take several lifetimes to pay his debt. Luckily, the AADA has announced a new nationwide road rally designed to challenge even the hardiest of auto-dueling teams. Dead Man's Run. Can Ricky and his clandestine crew traverse the wasteland from Atlanta to Sturgis, survive against packs of cannibals, roving biker gangs, and amateur auto-duelists out to make a name for themselves? Welcome to the world of the Car Warriors Auto Duel Chronicles. Tales from the freeways of the future, where the right-of-way goes to the biggest guns and death sports rule the airwaves. From clandestine highway battles to primetime arena combat, jump behind the wheel, follow the fast-paced action, and never forget to drive offensively.
Hello. I know it's been a long minute since I did this because I'm lazy and forget things and stuff. So I wanted to do just a quick little catch up. And where's my notes? Hold on. I have notes. And I've got like multiple screens up so I can see if there's anybody in the chat. And because the last couple of times it hasn't been popping up in here in the feed for me on StreamYard. So we'll see what's going on there. Maya, if you're there, which you probably are, go ahead and pop into Facebook or YouTube, please. Give me a test. Let me see what's going on here. Okay, so Jonah just posted morning. All right, cool. And it's not showing. I don't get it. It's annoying. Okay. All right, so quick little gardening update. It is going freaking bananas. I don't know if anybody saw my post the other day, but we got veggies coming in left and right. Blackberries are almost done. We've already picked about 3 gallons worth, I think, put them in the freezer. The jalapenos, though, oh my God. I picked 3 plants clean, and I'm still giving peppers away. I've got like 7 more plants that I got pick clean and get more blooms going on there, and the habaneros are starting to come in, so I'm happy about that. Anybody in the local area, you want a kitten? Neighbors have got kittens. They ready to leave mama and go to forever home, so let me know if you want a kitten, because I will definitely put you in touch with the neighbors. We've been feeding them while they're on vacation, so the grandbabies went over to help me feed them. I have kids back there someplace. They're playing video games today. Let's see. This weekend, we are off to Imaginarium. Last year was our first year at Imaginarium. It was fun. About 400 people. It was a little bit different than we've been used to down here with Chattacon, LibertyCon, Fantasy. Not the same as Southern Fandom. It's in Louisville, Kentucky, but they're pulling a lot of people out of Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Arkansas. So there's a whole other demographic coming in there. And, unlike Fantasy and LibertyCon being more mill sci-fi, speculative sci-fi, this was a mix. They had a lot of Christian fiction. They had a lot of romance. They had the indie movie side of things. Lots of fantasy. So that was interesting. It's a wider range that we're getting in touch with there. And last year we took 5 awards home. Oh, that's dusty. They've been sitting here. I sent 3 of them out to the authors that earned them. Well, one of them was a narrator, which was Joshua Saxon, but I took home a personal one for being that outgoing, boisterous loudmouth that everybody knows me as. And then we took the Sizemore Award for being the best small press. Going to a convention for the first time and taking awards home, that's freaking cool. That was just, I was blown away last year. And the number of Ravens that showed up to go with us, that was even better. You know, we had a good crew with us. They were representing. Everybody had a good time. This year we're up for a list of titles. So let's see here. The first one is the best anthology is It Came from the Trailer Park 2, which we're absolutely getting known for the Trailer Park anthologies. I don't get it. I know it's just fun, stupid humor stories that you can get lost in. But I never expected for it to do anything. I figured it'd be, okay, we'll do one and it's going to be a flop and that's it. No, people keep wanting them. People keep selling them or buying them. And, you know, LibertyCon, we sold out of every one that we got. We got a stack of like 20 of Trailer Park 1 and 20 of Trailer Park 2 that we're taking in Imaginarium. And what I don't sell there, I'll sell at DragonCon this year at the Fantasy Gather. But Trailer Park 2 was me and Jenny Wren as the editors on that. We've got the best audiobook narration, RimWorld The Rift, written by Jim Curtis. He's going to be there at Imaginarium this year. Narrated by Walt Allen. And we got me and Christopher Wood's co-authored novel, Smuggler's Run, narrated by Michael LeBlanc. And then Wildcat Foreclosure of a Dream, written by me, narrated by Mark Boyette, is up for the best audio narration. So we're taking one home. One way or the other, I'm taking an award home. I might have to fight Woods if Smuggler's Run wins. But he's big and old, so I can outrun him maybe. Let's see here. Best fantasy novel is The Raven and the Crow, The Grey Throne by Michael K. Falciani. He is planning on being there. Best historical fiction, High Hopes, John Olson. It's part of the JTF universe. Best science fiction, RimWorld by Jim Curtis, which is awesome. He's up for 2. Best steampunk, The Dwarves of Rom, Omens of War by Michael K. Falciani. And best short story collections, we have 2 running for this. Paranormal City by Stephen Oliver, and then The Chronicles from the World of Guilt by Chris Durston. Both were just epic. They were fun reads. It was a collection of stories that progressed the overall story. I don't generally publish those anymore just because we don't make a lot of money on them, but I enjoyed the hell out of reading them. Chronicles from the World of Guilt especially. I mean, it was dark. Can't think of the word. I mean, if you take a little bit of H.P. Lovecraft and put an alien space whale as the main protagonist that's killing off everything, it's weird, but it's beautiful. I mean, it fell into sci-fi, it fell into horror. I couldn't put it down, honestly. It was just a really good read. So we've got a good collection there. I mean, there's a chance that we can take home about 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's a chance we could take home 7 awards this year from Imaginarium. That will be cool as hell if we do. If not, that's still cool. The fact that we've got them up there, they're up for nominations. It's wild. This whole publishing thing has been a wild ride. Which, speaking of, since Trailer Park's on there, I had a thought for the cover for Trailer Park 4 for next year. And I know we haven't got Trailer Park 3 out yet. Phil is going through, and he is doing the the culling of the stories that we don't want. And we got a lot. There were like 50 or 60 submissions in. I forgot exactly how many. Uh, I don't even remember. Yeah, about 50 or 60. Um, and he's been going through. There's been some good selections in there. There's been some good writing. And this one, I just wanted to do something different, so we added a little extra theme to it. And I think a lot of people took it to heart of what the theme was. It's an additional theme, so I have to make sure that's clear for next year. But I'm going to add an additional theme to next year's Trailer Park 4, and there's a good chance there's going to be a zombie Elvis show up someplace just because. But thanks to some discussion that we had in the Three Ravens Discord server, we're going to go with it came from the Trailer Park Vacation Edition. So, things that happen on vacation kind of stuff. Chris Woods threw that together for me just because. It sounded like fun, So you got your main characters, and some people keep writing the same characters. I have this tendency to write my Braxton Hicks character into the Trailer Park stories. This year I'm doing something different. I'm pulling from one of the other universes I'm playing in. But we can get to see those characters go off on a vacation and things just go wrong, which, yeah, there's probably going to be a Braxton story because he never gets to take a break. He's always on the job and something just goes stupid sideways. Let's see. What else? Burning Roads is doing good. People have been loving it. I've got the Kickstarter set up for the universe. And for those of you that did not know, yes, we are doing a Kickstarter for the Autoduel Chronicles, just to get cover art early, get some editing help, be able to get some swag. We'll do coins, shirts, things like that. There's going to be Tuckerizations available in the Car Warriors universe. Different levels of Tuckerization: red shirt, secondary characters, primary supporting characters, and then there's even a tier for lead. If you want a story written about you based on what you want your character to be, then we can do that. But you got to pay the price. So we'll see how this goes. It's my very first one ever doing it. I have no idea how well it's going to do. I would hope that with the backing of Steve Jackson, it's going to do pretty decent. So we'll just have to see. I don't know if this will actually translate to all the different pages this is broadcasting to, but let's see. There's the Kickstarter link. If nothing else, you can find it on all of my other pages. Submissions. One thing that people haven't been doing is paying attention to submission guidelines. Yeah, there might not be anything in particular in the open call, but you still need to look at a publisher's main submission guidelines and make sure you're adhering to it. There's been a few things come in for Trailer Park that are just absolutely downright degrading, disgusting, uncalled for. Poor Phil, I'm going to have to buy him a beer because he's going to need it just to get some of that crap out of his head. Pay attention to submission guidelines, y'all. It's not that hard to do. You're an adult. Due diligence. If you're going to be a professional, be a professional. We don't want crap we can't publish. I'm not putting out something that's, one, pornographic, two, absolutely disgusting. There's one thing with tropes and blood and guts and action and things, okay, but within reason. We're not doing slasher fic. We're going horror comedy, Same kind of thing with the what ifs that have been coming in. They have been completely off the wall, so we might have to rethink that tangent. It did come through on one of those. So, all right. One that I got for the post-APOC, I've been recently reading through the post-APOC just to get myself a break and eyes off of other things. and trying to go through so I can do the selection on that one and get that taken care of. Which those of you who are part of Tomorrow's Hope and of Blood, Sweat, and Steel, they're coming soon. We're in the process of getting them edited, formatted, and processed. Um, but there was one story in the post APOC submissions that I absolutely fell in love with. Remember Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, and remember the tribe of kids, the lost kids out there at the plane crash. It had all the vibes of this. The submission came from New Zealand, so that's not really a surprise, for it to have that. But oh my God, they had its own language and quirks and things like that, and dead and gone, and just this phrases that yes, um, story like that I don't put down, that I absolutely fall in love with, and somebody's trying to get my attention, and I'm not paying attention because I'm so sucked in. You did something right. I'm not going to mention the story name or the author. You can see because it's going to be in the Antho. There's no doubt. Unless they published it since, I hope they didn't. It's going to be in the anthology. And that's a story that I want to see more of that universe. And I'm going to offer the author the chance to write novels for me. Because mainly because I want to read it. That's honestly one of the best parts of this gig for publishing. We get to help out other authors to realize their dream. But I get to read some kick-ass stuff. I love post-apoc, so this anthology was a breath of fresh air for me. I get to see all these different takes on it, different ideas. There's been some that's, oh my dear God. But we all started someplace. Whether it was concept, whether it was execution, sentence structures. There's a bunch in the hell no folder, and I got to say that seeing the ones that I've got in the good folder, I've already got like 8 or 9 in there. It's just beautiful. It's what I think about when it comes to post APOC, and that's one of those genres that I can't get away from. Um, I write a lot of post APOC. I haven't got any novels yet, but it's coming. It's I'm not far off from actually doing that. I got a lot of short stories in it. It's just that type of universe is fun. It makes me think. It makes me stretch my thought process and come up with solutions to problems. Hey, Chris, that's really probably the biggest thing to me when it comes to the post apoc genre is I put myself into a situation. How do I get out of this? What's the solution when there's no power, there's no food, there's no one to come for backup? How do you get out of this? Whether it's zombies, aliens, World War III and nukes fell, you got to take all that into account. So you actually have to think about it, and that to me is one of the funnest research tangents I can go down. It's not great for time because I go down the research rabbit hole, but yeah, I'm looking forward to putting this one out because it's close to my heart. Next to that one's probably post apoc, sword and sorcery, and then straight up fantasy are probably my favorite genres to play in. I'm enjoying. I don't even want to call it urban fantasy, but it is. I mean, it's what urban fantasy really became, I guess, or mill fiction. But the old school action adventure, men's fiction that I've just recently discovered was an actual thing because I've been reading Mac Bolan and the westerns, Louis L'Amour, that stuff fell into it. But that's definitely where my happy place is, doing that kind of stuff, whether it's post apoc or whatever. That's still the style that I'm dropping into it. It's fast paced. It gets to the point. You get through whatever it is, and like Car Wars, absolutely falls into the men's fiction. It's action packed, fast paced. Yes, it's game lit, but at the same time, there's gear porn. There's a little bit of gun porn, a little bit of everything to keep you interested and keep the story moving. So I'm happy where my writer's journey is going. It's going in a good path. I've found my groove. Yes, trailer park people can survive, Chris. Um, I cannot be more happy about where my writing style has gone. And that's one of those things you got to keep at it. You got to keep trying. You got to keep reading. Um, but in one of my emails with Bob Silverberg, I was asking him for a little personal advice because I got invited to another conference, and he was like, you can't teach someone to write, and that's true. You can't. They have to have the gumption to learn how to write themselves. You're always going to have the professionals, and you're going to have the looky-loos, the hobbyists that want to write and they talk about writing, but they never really do anything. But then you have the ones that, okay, they do nano, and they're still hobbyists, and that's fine. If that's where your path is, then that's where it is. Go with it, roll. And but it still applies across the board. You can't just straight up teach someone to write. They have to learn, they have to grow, they have to find their voice, taking into account from all these different sources. Read, read lots of stuff. Don't just read the one thing you love reading. you know every time I go to McKay's, and most of y'all that pay attention to my page, you've seen the stacks that I come back with, and I'm paying nickel and dime and quarter because that's okay, cool. I'm a cheapskate. I'll spend $5 and get a stack of books. But I'm getting westerns, I'm getting mysteries, I'm getting horror, I'm getting thriller, I'm getting all this range because I'm trying to absorb styles and tropes and ideas that I can take back to whatever I'm currently writing and apply. You can learn from anything. You know, Even if I'm reading historical stuff, if I can apply it someplace, absolutely. Um, it's just a matter of how you go about doing it. And I devour audiobooks, especially when I'm doing things. I'll be out in the garden or I'm doing dishes, and I got an audiobook going just because that's how I consume most of my reading material. I'm really slow visually. Dyslexia and ADHD and all that is I have to reread. But audiobooks, I'm game all day long. So if you've got issues reading and you're a slow reader when it comes to physical books, then get you an audiobook. You want some audiobooks to listen to? Let me know. I got audio codes. I'll give you something. Um, but yeah, we're well, we got sidetracked last year, and we're getting caught up. Car Wars did a little sidetrack, but it's a good sidetrack. I mean that's a whole other sidetrack that's worthwhile. That okay, we got to put a few things off so we can get this project done. Um, we got the backing of Steve Jackson, and that's just freaking epic. Um, oh, and if you hadn't seen, go over and look at the Daily Illuminator for today's post. Him and Irene were at a Lego show, and Stevie the pirate came out, and it's just funny as hell to see him all dressed up like a pirate playing with Legos. The man ain't nothing but a big kid, and that's as cool as hell. Oh, okay. So the conference. Last Friday, I got an email from a conference called In the Trenches, and they're up near Chicago. And they've asked me to come and be part of their conference in November. And I've said yes. I'm waiting on the paperwork to come back and all this and that. It looks like it's going to be something similar to what LibertyCon is down here in the South. So if you're up in the Chicago area, come check it out. I know Jody Lynn is going to be there. I'll be there. Dave Butler's going to be there. There was a whole bunch of others. There's going to be a couple of narrators there to talk to folks. And it's all about helping the writing community grow and learn. So that's going to be cool. That's going to be interesting. I'm an official guest, which is still weird. I'm getting somewhere, I guess. So we'll see how that turns out. I'll keep you updated on that. I don't know what kind of specials are going to be running on passes or anything like that. Apparently, the hotel gave them a really good room block if you're staying there, so that's cool. But I started something yesterday that might come back to bite me in the ass. Um, I don't know how many people out there have read the first book of the Bent series. Okay, I'll answer you here in a minute, Gustavo. See, part of that biting me in the ass thing. So Chris Woods wrote the first book of the Bent universe, Annoyed with Lloyd, Biologic Enhanced Nascent Talent. The basic gist of the universe is superheroes. It's modern day. There's a slight twist. 1950s, an asteroid comet, something like it crashed, and it caused people to change. Well, some people got talents, others got bends. Talents are basics. I mean, at the start of the novel, there's this one lady at the diner where the main character's at, and she has a big old long beard down to like her knees, and she can shave it, and 2 hours later, it's full grown again. That's just her bend or her talent. And talents are like minor things, annoying things. They don't really do much of anything. So it's a wide range of superpowers possible. And this is a fun little universe. Well, I decided I wanted to kick Jenny Wren since she got invited to it, and Woods greenlit her story pitch idea. So I gave her a challenge. 50,000 words in 45 days. We can write a novel in 45 days, ready to turn in and ready for review. So me and her and Phil Booker, we got a little chat thing that we go. It's like, okay, come on, we're doing this. And Phil kind of got roped into it just because proxy. Why not? So we're going to do this. It starts Monday. So if you're a writer and you'd like a challenge, I can supply you a copy of Annoyed with Lloyd so that you can read it, because Chris hasn't finished his Bible. He's doing that still. And then you've got your reference. But 45 days, we write 50,000 words, a completed novel, turn it in. I'm doing this too. So by, what is it, August 31st? Yeah, August 31st. Novels are due then. If you can do it, cool. Let's see where you're at. If you can't, well, there's your growth point. There's something to strive for. So we'll see what happens, because I've kind of put the word out to the world, and I'm kind of scared because there's been a lot of replies back. A lot of people are talking about it, and it's just like, holy shit. And well, in those conversations back and forth with Bob Silverberg, I asked him, it's like, back when you were writing, could you have pulled off 50,000 words in 45 days? Well, he came back within his prime, which I think was in 69. I think's what he said. 56 to 59 was his most prolific years, and he was doing 40 to 50,000 word weeks. Now think about that though. 56 to 59, and the man was doing up to 50,000 word weeks, which means he's either handwriting them or typing them on a typewriter, but no word processing, no quick edits, no Grammarly, and turning in clean copy to the editors. That's just freaking beautiful. I got a feeling that me and Bob would have got along well back in the day, just because, yeah, I know that I can do 20, 25,000 words in a weekend because I've done it. Go on a writing retreat and just write. That's it. Nothing else. No distractions, no dogs in the way, and kids, smelly kids. But that was cool, you know. Seeing things like that from him about back in the day kind of stuff. It's cool, it's interesting, and you just don't know how it was because it was a whole other lifetime ago. I mean, hell, that was 20 years before I was born. So, wow. But yeah, if you think you've got the gumption and you think you can pull it off, then come on and do it with us. Monday at dark 30 starts the clock. And August 31st is the end of it. We'll see how many we've got, how many get turned in. I might even start a leaderboard for daily check-ins of word count and just to see where everybody's at. Might piss some people off, but might keep everybody else honest too, you know, give them a little something to shoot for. It's like, crap, I didn't get up there. So we can have us a little race of who's getting done where. But yeah, that's about all I got right now. We will be at Imaginarium this weekend. So if y'all get a chance, you up in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come out and see us and hang out. Yes, I'm bringing honey mead. Oh, wait, I didn't show the mead. Yes, there's the raspberry that everybody's dying to try. And then I've got more than a few flavors. That one's a special. The one with the peppers. That one's for Tail Rider. But I got other flavors for everybody to try out. And we'll be having our room party. But yeah, that's it. I will catch y'all later. Shut up, Maya. I'm looking for the button. There it is.
(1954), the year of the asteroid, the year of change. It altered the world forever. People began to develop unexplained abilities. Biological, enhanced, nascent talents seemed to appear at random, while others, well, they were just bent. In '58, Alexander Lloyd became America's most wanted criminal, and today he is still at large, but it's much more difficult to hide, and it's becoming harder to do what he does. Annoyed with Lloyd, Book 1 in the Bent series by Christopher Woods, narrated by Deborah Boker. Available from Three Ravens Publishing on Amazon.